Okay.
I'll try to concise this as much as possible.
Shall I put it?
Yeah, we are live.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday Motivation Webinar Series. Today, we have a very special speaker. And to introduce him, I hand over to the moderator, Dr. Tushar Agarwal.
Hi, guys, and thank you once again for joining us today evening. And like they say in most of the motivational webinars, this is an hour which you have taken out for yourself, right? This is your me time to sort of recharge yourself in the time where we are getting potentially discharged all the time. And as you see, we have both the demigods, Neeraj Bijlani and Ashok Sham here today with us. This is unbelievable, right? And of course, our main guy, Dr. Bhamre, who is so qualified that it's not doing justice that I should read out all his qualification. And he has a wonderful talk. He is, besides being a great sports doctor and a sports surgeon, he loves giving this talk on stress management and spirituality. So without further ado, let's go over to his talk and we'll take questions at the end of the talk. Right, Dr. Bhamre, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Agarwal. That's kind of you. At the outset, I'd like to thank the Monday Motivation Series and Dr. Tushar Agarwal and Dr. Neeraj Bijlani, who've been really instrumental in bringing this to us. Thank you indeed. And of course, the Magic Man, who has really given a very different angle to academics in India and is made it accessible to all of us. And I'm really grateful. It's a great transformation, Dr. Ashok Sham. Really thankful on behalf of all my colleagues and friends and brethren. Right, so today, my dear friends, we're going to speak about stress. So basically, a little amount of stress is just fine. And that's physiological and at times warranted to push you up ahead in life. But distress, which means continuous, abnormal, pathological stress over a period of time without breaks of release in between, that is called as distress. And distress isn't a great thing because it results in irritation, anger, depression, suicide, heart attacks, cancer, and early death. Stressed people usually live a very poor quality of life. And worse, most of the people, especially the educated people who believe that naturally because of the education they know, it's not a criticism, it's just an observation. So anything I'm going to say is not a criticism. Please take it in a very different way, in a bigger way, in a positive way. They feel that they know it and that's it. And they believe that they don't have stress because mentally the cognitive mind is very powerful. So they're not even aware they are stressed. Now, what are the external causes of stress? So whether it is your job, whether you're your boss, whether you're a financial crisis, a home, interpersonal relationship, the difficult neighbors or health, all these can cause stress. And on top of this, we have an additional the pressure and the stress and the fear of COVID or Corona. The good news about COVID-19 is that it is 100% preventable. And we know that more than 95% to 97% is the cure rate. And it's going to stay here for a few months, maybe 6 months or maybe a year, but it's going to go down over a period of time. So the good news is that it is here for a short period of time. Now people, and the good thing is most of the young people are come out very well if they have a corona. The high-risk group, usually above 50, 55 with comorbidities. Well, most of you people assume you're doctors and I'm addressing you likewise. You're senior, you're financially stable and you're insured. Now you have two options. One is take a calculated risk, do teleconsultation or use your PPPs and then go and operate. Or you want to take a zero risk, get hold of a young locum, share the profit with him, get a zero contact with the patients, take a break. This is a well-deserved break. Legally, nobody is going to object to you, and you have all the chance, the possibility of taking a break from your career for some short time. So the thing is, I think it's completely up to you. It is 100% preventable, and you have the controls with you how to play this game. So honestly, I'm not much worried about the COVID stuff. this is going to go off. And you being doctors know more about it. So I'm not going to talk about this. Well, if you see the death rate, we all know, we have seen this chart, but this is specifically 50 to 69 years of old. Worldwide mortality rate is still cardiovascular disease, cancers, respiratory, road traffic accidents, tuberculosis, alcohol, malaria, hepatitis, and so on. And this was already happening in 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, and this is already there. So these are the causes of mortality were already there. So the thing is, death is inevitable for everyone. Now, whether it happens with age or because of these diseases, like the preventable diseases, which were anyway under our control, and most of them, in spite of intellectually knowing that these are preventable diseases, very few, including doctors, do not take any action and do a lifestyle modification. So I think as far as doctors we are concerned, I think COVID is there, yes, we can handle it. But we also need to handle the other causes of mortality. If you're just talking mortality as a figure, financial things will come and go, sir. We came with nothing and we'll go with nothing. So finances plus minus, we can flatten it out over a period of time. Now, Corona has a message for us. Death is inevitable. How consciously have we lived so far? Have you lived really consciously your life so far? How do you plan to live your life? It is just reminding us to live life fully. Your career and job practice is absolutely negligible part of your life. Life is bigger. And the career is not life. Career is bigger. The career is small and life is big. And the thing is, we have taken it too seriously. So in fact, we have a message here. Nobody was stoppable. This has made it possible to stop. So I think there is a message from Corona here. Now, what are the ways to reduce stress? Now, if you Google, you go and attend a lot of webinars, you'll come to know all this, right? You already know this, most of the stuff. Sound sleep and regular exercise, and nutritious diet, lifestyle modification, music, yoga, nurturing hobbies, pets are quite relaxing, friends, time management, financial planning, socializing, laughter clubs. Catharsis means crying it out or venting your emotions with friends or professionals. We all know this. I'm not going to go into the healthy diets, but the oxidative stress also needs to be taken into consideration, and we have to, that comes from the diet. So I'm not going to go into the details, but yes, there is a big connection between your mind and your gut. Your gut directly influences your mind because you as a person, if you have 30 trillion cells, 60 to 100 trillion bacteria are in your gut. So you have more number of bacteria in your own human cells, and they are continuously influencing your gut. And there is a big connection between these bacteria and your mood as well. So in spite of taking all the cares, if you're not in a good mood, blame it on the bacteria, on the gut bacteria. And hence, to maintain your gut is very, very important. And we all know, doctors, I'm not going to go into the details, but plant-based diet, calcium-rich diet, high-fiber diet, plenty of water, probiotics like yogurt, buttermilk, whole grains, and avoiding sugars. Well, exercise, we all know, secretes a lot of endorphins and gives you that feel-good factor, relaxes you, good sleep, neurovascularization, excellent metabolic and healing response. It is going to counter and prevent your chronic diseases, lean mass, which is directly related to immunity. And we all know, like andropause and menopause, there is something called as immunosenescence. That means after 50 years, your immunity is going to go down. Now, even if there is a vaccine for corona tomorrow or COVID, even if a vaccine is given to you, if you have immunosenescence, you will not respond to the vaccine, sir. So you need to exercise, and exercise has proven to improve the response to vaccine. There is a huge impact of exercise on immunity, not just with vitamin C and antioxidants and sleep and other things, but exercise. Exercise is a medication for psychological diseases as well. Depression, anxiety, stress, schizophrenia. If a person exercises, the medications goes down. So if they are in the early stage, it has a reversal effect. Apart from this, most of the lifestyle diseases and dementia and Parkinson's and hyperlipidemia and diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases and back pains and cancers and all, it has a positive impact on all your health and well-being as well. Adequate sleep is very, very important. I've seen a lot of surgeons believe that only 5 to 7 or 6 hours of sleep is good. No, there is a lot of evidence, and I'm talking about the archives of European journals of physiology, that 7 to 8 hours or maybe 9 hours if you're working too much and there is a lot of stress, I think that is the time you need really, really good sleep. And because sleep also secretes a lot of good inflammatory cytokines which play a vital role in immunity as well. Now, whatever we have seen, all the causes and the ways to tackle stress, I think these are all superficial. Now, if you read these books like 7 Steps to Reduce Your Stress or 7 Ways for Stress Management and so on and so forth, all this is nothing. If there is a weed in your farm or a grass which you want to put out, if you just cut it from the top, it's of no use. The roots are still there. We are not addressing the root of stress. Where is the stress originating? All I said is important, but we have not addressed the roots of the stress, and that is what we are going to address now. The real causes of stress. There are 2 factors in stress. One is the stress risers, or sorry, not the stress risers, sorry, being an orthopedic surgeon just comes in. Stress triggers are the stressors and the person who perceives the stress. Now, the person who is going to perceive the stress is going to perceive it subjectively. For example, a person who is doing a bungee jumping, one person may enjoy it, the other person may just not like it. A person who's in an elevator feels claustrophobic, the other person is just cool about it. So the same experience, somebody can be stressful about, while somebody will just take it normally. So the same experience, the same trigger can elicit different stress responses in human beings. The person who perceives stress is very, very important. And most of the routine stuff focuses on the external environment. Nobody really wants to focus on the stressor, on the perceiver. So I believe the perception and the vulnerability of the perceiver to stress is more important. External circumstances have a little intrinsic capacity to induce stress. And let us see what are the causes of stress and how to deal them, the real causes of stress. Now look at the life, what we are living today, the modern life. Bad news in the television, fear, war, terrorism, competition, jealousy, kidnapping, anxiety, depression, disapproval, injustice, rape, loans, broken relationship, discrimination, divorce, and so on. Now, your brain is directly connected to your immune system and your endocrine system. Any stress here is going to stress the immune system and the endocrine system. While a person who is peaceful will have a peaceful immunity, a healthy endocrine system. A stress immunity, a stress endocrine system means the body's whole homeostasis is disturbed. There is a complete chemistry which tells more about this. Now, we all know about this as doctors. We have read about the stress response, fight and flight response, and we know about this. Now, what I want you to understand is, sir, we already know about this. Why are you telling us about all this? The problem with intellects, including me, people who have studied a lot, professionals, people who are knowledgeable, they read a lot, they have multiple degrees, they're masters and doctorates and PhD holders. The problem with them is knowing, they think that knowing means everything. Knowing means nothing. One thing, getting into the subconscious mind is different. See, your cortex, the neocortex, which has just evolved recently, in recent thousands of years, the neocortex is a thinking mind, the analytical mind, the decision-making mind. But your patterns, your subconscious patterns, your reactions, your emotions, your thoughts, the perceiver of the stress is in the subconscious mind, in the mind which is below. The neocortex doesn't do that. Your heart rates are not controlled by your neocortex. Your respiration directly is not controlled by your neocortex. So the problem is understanding something does not mean it is imbibed inside your subconscious mind or your habitual patterns. I know this, I know that. But sir, you know it doesn't mean that it translates into your life. You know alcohol is bad for health, you still booze. and boost beyond the normal limits. You know alcohol is not good for you. I mean, smoking is not good for you, but you still do it. So knowing doesn't mean anything, sir. Knowing is one thing. And most of the intellectual class, I know this, tick mark, tick mark, tick mark. Okay, don't have to tell me, I know everything. No, sir, there is no transformation in your life. In spite of knowing all the things, in spite of reading all the books, in spite of reading all the videos and seeing all the videos of great people, there is no transformation in your life. The reason is, knowing does not mean translating into life and your subconscious mind, because the habits, the addictions, your repetitive behavior comes from the subconscious mind. So, although I'm talking about stress, flight, fight response, your mind will say, oh, we know, sir, why are you talking about all this? No, sir, I'm going to talk something more about it as well. Well, this response is not under your conscious control. Now, the next thing is, we know that there's a short-acting response and there's a long-acting response. Response is for flowers. The moment you see a fire or an elephant charging at you, your hypothalamus pituitary axis just gets activated. And all the blood, and most of the blood goes to your muscles. You have a deep breathing, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your blood sugars go up, and you're ready to charge, either fight or flight. That's fine, perfectly okay. After 2 hours, it comes down, but it really takes 24 to 48 hours to come back. So there is a long-acting stress response to one single episode of response. Now, every time there is a stress response, 50 hormones are released, chemicals are released. And the vital energy to the vital organs is deprived and it goes to the musculoskeletal system. Now, if this chronic response, if this response is once in a while, it's fine. But if it is chronic over a year, then you have stress, high blood pressure, sticky platelets, heart problems, high blood sugar, psychological problems, muscle ache, stress, anxiety, fear, depression, fatigue, decreased immunity, running nose, allergies, cancer. All these are then direct manifestations of this stress response. Now, putting this point and driving it into your subconscious is very important. I know this, okay, let's go ahead in the next slide. No, drive it into your subconscious. That is more important. Now, almost all modern situations are, it's like a life and death situation for us, and then the flight and response. What we do, human beings, is we add more stresses, we add more triggers to it. Be it the social media. If you have a or somebody in a bad way, immediately the stress response comes up. On top of that, we see a lot of fighting. You know, the games what we play is violent games. Now your neocortex is enjoying all this, sir. You feel this horror movie is fantastic, I'm enjoying it, but your subconscious mind is like, the amygdala doesn't understand this. It is going to throw the flight and flight response. So the television, what you see, oh, I'm seeing for the news, I have to update myself. Sir, that's fine. Watch it twice a day is okay. But if you continuously watch, your amygdala is throwing the flight and flight response, sir. That is one of the greatest cause of stress, because your neocortex doesn't understand stress. It is your subconscious mind, your body, your cells, your immunity, your endocrine system. Everything is under stress. So on an average, stress response. Certain people, especially in modern life, people who are busy would have 100 stress responses. So practically 4 to 5 stress responses every hour. They are going to last for a few hours and their effect is going to last for a day or two. What is happening to your body? It is not every month, every week. It is every day, every hour, sir. Stress response every hour. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? What havoc are you playing with your cells? And that is actually mind. So you feel I'm not stressed. Oh, stress and मुझे कुछ stress भी आता नहीं है. No, sir. Your amygdala doesn't understand that. Your limbic system doesn't understand that. Now we know the stress. So again, what happens is you land into a cancer, depression, suicide, accident. Headaches and other illnesses, and gone. That's the end. That is what is happening to modern life. Arey, acha tha, kya ho gaya? There was a doctor, he's famous. He's fit, he does exercises. He's so disciplinarian. He's dead, just stress. So one has to understand this. So what the solution is, modern life means stress response. And this is happening at subconscious level. So what you need to do is modify your life to reduce stress responses cautiously. Now we have heard about this news, successful people, Mercedes and big house and big hospitals, they're no more. The hospital is here, they're gone, they're dead, they're not existing. So if you want to come out of this stress, understand the flight and frisk response is subconscious. It doesn't bother your neocortex, so you feel you're not stressed. So what you need to do now is cautiously try to reduce your stress factors. Bad news, television isn't great. Just see the highlights, fantastic. Don't go into the social media, do whatever is essential. Don't get in. You are causing stress, you're reducing your age, your immunity, chronic diseases are coming to you. Second problem is mishandling your emotions. Now, there are basically two types of emotion. One is love-based emotion and another is fear-based emotion. Love-based emotion is the mother of all the good emotions or the positive emotions, and fear is the mother of all the negative emotions. Now, love-based emotions we all know, like joy and happiness and trust and compassion and contentment and satisfaction and gratitude, while the fear-based are anxiety, depression, sadness, anger, hurt, pain, loneliness, guilt, shame, jealousy, revenge, resentment. All these are negative. And now what happens? Now all the positive emotions, love emotions are healing to your body. They secrete endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, enkephalins, oxytocin, growth hormone, melatonin, nitric oxide. They are going to heal your immunity. They're going to not tax your cells. Now the negative emotions, adrenaline or noradrenaline, epinephrine, cortisol, angiotensin, kinins, they are playing havoc in your body. For a short term, flight and fight response is survival. Great, understood. But if it is every minute, every hour, that isn't great. So much of adrenaline, cortisol, we know what is going to play havoc with you. So any positive emotions will secrete a healing response in you. Any negative emotions will secrete a damaging response to you. Now just close your eyes for 30 seconds, just close your eyes and ask yourself, how many people I hate? How many people I want to take a revenge? I will never forgive him, sir. I will take a revenge no matter what. How many people you have grudge with? How many times you get angry? How many times you get irritated? Every time you have that emotion inside you, you are secreting poison in your body. You are eliciting the stress response in your body. So mind your emotions. See, you don't want to forgive him. He's gone, whatever the person was in your life. You have a grudge with him. You want to take revenge. The problem is the moment you start thinking about him, you first elicit the stress response immediately, subconsciously. You are not understanding it, but you are creating poison in your body. You have a choice. Whether you want to have healthy emotions or whether you want to have negative emotions. Now, the third problem is, for the solution for the second problem is you should be mindful. We are going to talk more about it later on. The third problem is your behavior is on an autopilot. Anything and everything you do in your daily life is autopilot. You are not controlling it. You feel you are controlling it. No, your subconscious mind is controlling. Your habitual patterns are controlling it. Bhav, vichar, vani, kriya are connected. Your thoughts, your emotions, your speech and actions are connected. Everything comes in thought first. This glass came in the thought of the inventor. He thought about that we should have a container. Can it be of glass? How should we have something to hold? It came in your thought and then it came into reality. So anything and everything in life comes in your thoughts first and then comes into reality. So your thoughts, your emotions, your subconscious patterns are not under your control. You have no direct control. Now, why is this? Now, there is something called as neural facilitation. It means neurons that fire together will wire together. So every time as a child, somebody told you, if you're not happy or you're not pleased with a situation, you get angry and people will understand that you're not pleased with that. You start getting angry. And once you start getting angry, the neurons of anger there, which get connected to each other, and a thick, solid network of neurons is formed because all the anger neurons will come together. Now they are all primed, they are ready to fire. Just a small trigger from outside and the neurons will start firing. I didn't want it to get angry. How did I get angry? I didn't want it to get upset, irritated. How did I get? Next time I will take precautions. You will not control because it's in your subconscious mind. A small trigger. Your wife says something and you say, oh, come on, you made me angry. Your boss says something and you feel, oh, he made me angry. No, sir, nobody makes you angry. It's your subconscious patterns. It's your neural network. It's neural facilitation that makes you angry. You just blame it on somebody else because they are just triggers. A small trigger is enough to bring in anger in you, to bring in stress in you, to bring in anxiety in you. These are all your habitual subconscious pattern, all your addictions. You want to come out of it, but you cannot come out of it. The reason is it is not in your neocortex. This is a cortex who is a doctor. This is a cortex who has a PhD. This is a cortex who has double masters. It has no control over your subconscious. The problem is in the subconscious, and we are trying to address the conscious mind. We are trying to entertain the conscious mind. So another problem which a lot of people do is self-torture, self-punishment. They can't stop replaying the past memories, especially the painful memories. Now I'll give an example. There were two friends, Ram and Shyam. They had some argument in public and Ram said, you don't deserve my friendship and you betrayed me, and he just gave a tight slap to Shyam and they just walked away. Shyam wasn't happy about it. He got irritated. He said, how can he do this to me? Ram for some reason went to Canada. For work, he's staying in Canada. It's been 5 years now. This incident has gone. Now somebody says, Ram Shyam ji, kaise aap? The moment somebody says Ram, Shyam remembers that incident. He gets angry, irritated, and same adrenaline, cortisol, prostaglandins, angiotensins, everything is secreted in his body. The moment Ram is not here, the incident is not happening, but the same effect, the same stress response is elicited in his body, just by the name. And people have so many past memories and so many people in their mind, they are not existing in front of them. And every time they replay this memory, he did this to me, he did this to me, and he did it once. You are doing that to yourself hundreds of times. You are self-torturing yourself. He's an offender, but you are a greater offender of yourself than the other person. And this self-torturing, self-punishment is subconscious. You are not your understanding. It is beyond your control. You are an educated mind, a doctor, a PhD holder, has so much of negative emotions and negative past memories. So many people are still stuck here, whether it's relatives or friends or wife or husband or ex-girlfriend or whatever. They are all here. And you are playing the cassette again and again and again and torturing yourself, eliciting the stress response, eliciting stress, anxiety, fear, revenge, negative emotion. They are damaging you first, then the other person. Shyam, who remembers Ram has nothing to do. He's happy in Canada. Shyam is getting boiling here with all these hormones, the 50 chemicals in his body. So what is the solution to all this? Forgive. Not for Shyam or Ram, sorry. For Shyam himself. Shyam has to forgive, not for Ram. Ram is gone. Forgive. If you forgive, you will reduce your stress. You will be free of the other people. You will move ahead. You will be happy. And all that negative emotions will not come back to you. Forgiveness is very important. Being mindfulness of what emotions you carry is very important. Are decided, the shape, the color, the eyes, the hair, everything is decided by your genetics. Similarly, the software of your mind is decided by memes or memetics. So meme is the one. Meme is what? Your parents, your teachers, your colleagues, your friends, books, and your little experiences. All combined together. These ideas are coming from your society. And then that makes what you are. You are not what you are, sir. You have left yourself far behind. You feel whatever you are today, you are not your original self. There are layers after layers after layers after layers, and you have forgotten. This is a pseudo image of yourself. And you think this is what you are. No. Layer after layer after layer after layer, and then you will find yourself. So whatever you are, your personality today is not your true personality. Whatever you really want is not you. This has been imposed by the society. Your definition of success comes from the society. And so you are just like any other sheep. Please do not misunderstand. My word is to make you understand the concept, not to criticize. So you may be hating a herd of sheep, but after all, you're still a sheep. And you're still in the rat race. Because the meme told you, because the external software has been introduced into your brain. So the meme is pushing you into the rat race of achievements, positions, jealousy, status, pseudo-frame. And that is one of the greatest cause of stress. Because you are competing with people whom you don't want to. Your real being doesn't want to. You've been pushed into it. You feel that is the right way to go ahead. As a child, you feel that was the right way ahead and you just got into the race without you knowing. Nobody asked you. You were pushed by the society. They impose the definition of success on you, and that if you achieve these things, then you are successful. And what is the solution to this? Get out of this unnecessary competition and comparison. You are unique. You cannot be compared with anybody else. Everybody has a different syllabus. The question paper is different. You cannot copy from the answer sheet of others. The question paper of your life is different. Contemplate, meditate. That will find the true self. Find your own true self. Even time is not gone. What it wants, that will make you happy. That will be the greatest stress buster in your life. Not understanding the bigger picture of life. The way we live life, birth, and then childhood, and then education, and career, and then marriage, and house, and children, and retirement, and the children's marriage, and we get old, and then disease and death, and we are gone from this planet. This is what most of the people live life. They come, they do a series of things which the society has told them, and they span across 90%, 70, 80, 60%, 40%, 50% of the life, the prime life is just gone into career. Career is important. I'm not saying money is not important. Career is not important. It is important, but that is not equal to life. Life is big. Career is a small part. But we are so engrossed in the career that we completely lost living. Now, this is the chart of how a normal person lives. This is Western world, and this is coming from the World Bank Bureau of Labor Statistics. An average life expectancy abroad is beyond 80, but let us say 78 years. And this is what they have divided. And out of all these things, the worst is Indians. They're not even, the average life expectancy is less than 70. Now, for a 78 years person, he gets around 9 years for himself. While an Indian, assuming 67.3 as a years, would get 7 years for himself. Rest is all for his job, sleeping, traveling, social, shopping, taking care of the house, and so on. Education, job, rest, all the lifetime is gone into all these activities. Only time you get is 7 years. Now, the problem is this 7 years you get, or people find for themselves only after their retirement. You find you get retired when your knees are aching, your back is paining, when you hardly see without a goggle or your specs. You have no enthusiasm to live life. And what are you going to do with these 7 years, provided you live for 78 years? And if you live before this planet, before that, then anyway, those 7 years is gone. When are you going to live your life? That is a problem, sir. There is no alignment between your thoughts, emotions, speech, and action. Your conscious being and your conscious being and the subconscious being is not in alignment. That is causing the stress. The malalignment is causing the stress. Evolve your consciousness. The problem with us is, the modern people is, see, this is the, I love this hierarchy of a Maslow, you know, this is hierarchy of survival. Or now what he says is, at the base is your physiological needs. Say your home, your water, diet, your protection, your family, people who love you, your biological needs, excellent. Then comes the need to identify yourself. Oh gosh, I'm also there. Please identify me. Hello, a small ego here. Hello, self-respect. And then comes your cognitive needs. You want to learn, get knowledge, degrees, qualification. You want to master your field. And that's it. People stuck here throughout life. People who have achieved PhDs and masters and FRCS and big qualifications including me, I was the same once upon a time. I had multiple 3 master's degrees and so many other things, but I was the same, stuck. Didn't want it to rise beyond this because success is there. I'm a famous doctor. I have so much literature published. I'm a researcher. So many degrees and qualifications, money, big car, big house. Fantastic. That's it. That's life is. And that is what I'm doing till the time I have a heart attack. Life is not meant for that. Life is meant for something bigger as well. When are you going to appreciate the beauty of life, this earth, the beauty of living, alive, being alive, the aesthetics? When are you going to understand who you are? What is your true nature? What is your purpose in life? Why is this life created? Why this earth is created? Why this solar system? Why this Milky Way galaxy? What is the local cluster? How many clusters are there? How many galaxies are existing? How much is the universe? Not as a knowledge. How can't you even think of this? There's something bigger to your meaning, to your life. Where are you going to find this meaning? Where are you going to transcend and come and go beyond all this? It is possible. Today, a lot of people are enlightened people. The problem with enlightened people is they do not take a flag and go around shouting, hello, I'm enlightened, bring me in the newspaper. No, sir. They are in their own world. They're just trying peacefully to help as many people as possible. It is we, people who have a big ego, want to be in the newspaper. There are a lot of saints existing even today, and they're doing their job very well, but they are not in news. So people, we just got stuck into the basic needs of name, fame, money, and we feel money is equal to happiness. Needs are limited and desires are endless. So the real thing is we have got stuck into the deficiency needs, and that is one of the biggest causes of stress as well. Now, this is a wonderful book. If you get a hand on this, the book by Brownie Ware, people may have read it, but don't read it at an intellectual level. Let it sink inside you. It says that she's writing about top 5 regrets of dying people. And she feels these are the regrets. People who are on deathbed or they want to die, say in few months. She was a caretaker of all these people. And the people who are going to die for 3 months or 2 months or a year or so on. And she got all this information from them. And what they said was, I wish I had courage to live life true to myself and not to others' expectation. Most of us live life for others' expectation. What will they say? What will this group say? What will I'm a president of this, I'm a this of this, and I'm that of this, and I have to pretend like that to behave. Either it's a family, society, your own religion, whatever. You are living a life based on the expectations of other. At least 60-70% of your life. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. People who are just going to die in few months say, I wish I spent too much of time thinking career is important. It is important, but I gave too much of importance. Too much. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I had touch with my friends, and I wish I would have let myself be more happier. The problem is we do not let ourselves be happier. We feel guilty about it, and we are not knowing this because this is in the subconscious mind. People are not even aware that they are not allowing themselves to be happier. Laughing loud, what will people say? He's gone crazy, he's a nut. No, sir. As a child, you never care what people think. Where is this child gone? You are not what you are. You are squeezed into something else. That is causing the stress. Now, there are so many of these. I'm not going to the details, but holding grudges, not volunteering enough, not standing for yourself, getting defined by cultural expectations, not spending time with your kids too much, and not being grateful. All these are the grudges of the people who are going to die. Ask a person who's really a billionaire and who's going to die in a month's time. Ask him the importance of each and every day. He is ready to pay millions of rupees to get another more month extended. He will spend all his money on that. But sir, please give me another month. We have years now, sir. Let us hope we have years and months. And what are we doing? Just being alive is a celebration, is the greatest qualification on this earth. Your degree's qualification doesn't matter. Just being alive and in the human form is the greatest qualification, the greatest achievement, the greatest happy moment. It's a wow moment, it's an aha moment. We came naked and we are going to leave all these positions here. Dhirubhai Ambani died so young. He had billions of rupees. You could have taken a chartered flight. You could have got 5 or 10 American doctors for himself. He died before 65, around 65, because of lifestyle disease, because of stress. He had a stroke. Where is he now? What does his property and his name has to do with him? It doesn't matter now for him. Whether we shout every day, Dhirubhai Ambani, Dhirubhai Ambani, it doesn't matter. Whatever he is has nothing to do with this property and name and fame. It's all temporary. You will be remembered only for 3 generations, if at all you make a big name. That's it. After 3 generations, do you remember your 3 generations ahead? Tell me the name, full name of your great-great-grandfather. Tell me. You don't remember the name of your great-great-grandfather. Why do you expect the other people to remember you? What are you fame are you talking about, sir? This is going to be vanished in this generation itself. The next generation is more volatile. Why are you running unnecessarily behind the fame and name? These are all temporary possessions. Everything is going to live here. Live life. That is more important. Live happily. Let yourself be happy. Celebrate this life. Every moment is a celebration. Today, now, let it sink inside. Just don't take it intellectually. Yes, I know this, I know this, I know this. No, let it sink inside your subconscious. Now, spirituality helps you to find the bigger picture. Now, there is a lot of misconceptions people have. They equate religion with spirituality. No. Doing puja, part, japa, tapa is not spirituality. Spirituality means finding the truth of life, and living according to the truth of life is spirituality. It has nothing to do with religion. Jesus Christ was a spiritual person. The followers made his philosophy into a religion. Buddha was never religious. Buddha was a spiritual person. His followers made it into a religion. So spiritual persons, there will be people who are enlightened without religion. So don't mix up spirituality with religion. Spirituality means knowing the bigger thing. Now, spirituality is the one which is going to free you of these bondages, of this maim, these subconscious patterns of stress, fear, anxiety, fear of death, everything. Spirituality is the solution. And if it is based on science, then nothing like it. Not superstition, but spirituality and science. In fact, now quantum physics is telling what spirituality was telling thousands of years. The 5th cause is lack of gratitude. If you are not happy today, you will never be happy. You always thought of what you, as a youngster, you thought you should have a car, a name, a fame, a hospital, a big position. Now you have it and you're still not happy. You thought if you get this, you will be happy, and you're still not happy. So even if you get ₹1 billion, and still you will not be happy. So if you feel one day you will be happy, and by achieving all this you will be happy, no. If you cannot be happy and grateful today, you will never be grateful and happy in your life. Being grateful for what you have is very, very important. Thank the universe for everything you have. If you being grateful today, believe me, this is heaven. If I had time and if I can speak, which I do, I take a workshop for the whole day. I keep speaking for the whole day on these topics. Heaven is now. I can make you feel, I can make you believe. Heaven is now here at this moment. Right, so today, modern world, our fridges are loaded with foods. We have enough money in our banks. We have a car, we have a house, we have clothes. Our clothes is full of clothes. And in spite of being at the peak of evolution and luxury, we are still unhappy. We are educated, we have multiple qualifications, degrees and knowledge and information and research papers, and still we are unhappy and stressful. Something isn't right, not right. Something isn't not right. And the problem, the 6th problem is we are seeking happiness in the wrong place. We're seeking happiness in the wrong place. Now, how do you find true and permanent happiness? Now, tell me one shop which sells happiness. Whether it is DMart, whether it is Starbucks, or whether it is Walmart, where do you get happiness? Whether it is sold in liters or kg, and what is the price? The problem is you have given the remote control of your happiness to people. Your boss says something nice about you and you're happy. Your wife says something nice about you and you're happy. Your friends say something nice about you and you're happy. Now, your in-law says something nasty and you're unhappy. Your child doesn't appreciate you and you're unhappy. Your boss says something wrong and you're unhappy. Your juniors don't listen to you and you're unhappy. That means the other person dictates whether you're going to be happy or you're not going to be happy. That means the remote control of your happiness with is somebody else. And that is happening every day. And again, the intellectual mind, the doctor, the PhD holder doesn't understand this because it is happening at a subconscious level. Happiness does not come from outside. Happiness doesn't come from a person. Now, the girlfriend or your wife, let us imagine theoretical, hypothetical. The girlfriend or the wife gave you so much of happiness. She was the center of your universe. She was the source of happiness. Now you have a divorce. She becomes the greatest source of misery in your life. The same person once upon a time was a source of happiness, now is a source of misery. How is it possible? If that person was a source of happiness, how he becomes a source of misery? That means happiness is not coming from that. The person was bringing you in happiness, a situation which created to express your happiness. The happiness was within inside you, sir. The person just created an environment for you to be happy. The person created an environment to make you miserable, but the choice was with you to be happy or not to be happy. The car which you brought 10 years back, you are so happy to show it to your friends. Now it is an old car for you. You feel ashamed of it. So the objects don't give you happiness. The places don't give you happiness. The events don't give you happiness. The circumstances doesn't give you happiness. Happiness is your default nature. That is within you. That is what you are. The moment you are born, you are alive. Consciousness is in you. Being alive is with you. So similarly, happiness is with you all the time. The problem is you give the control to others. The problem is you have lost the capacity to be happy. If the environment is right, you will be happy. If the environment is not right, you will not be happy because you have given the control of your happiness to others. That is another cause of stress. So happiness is a choice. Your default nature or let others influence your happiness. You are too serious in life. Too serious. And the problem is you are not eliciting enough relaxation responses. Whether you accept or you don't accept, there are a lot of stress responses. Whether it is job, your EMIs, this, that, and you have created more through your social medias and you've taken more of responsibilities which you are not able to cope up as well. So you have invited more stressors or triggers already, but on already stress and you are not eliciting the relaxation response. So elicit a lot of relaxation response in your body. Deep breathing every day, meditation every day, exercise, visualization, calming your mind, hobbies, do yoga or tai chi, whatever you like. Be joyful, let yourself be happy, no guilt, start laughing aloud in groups when you are alone or even with friends. Play with your animals if you have one. Have fun and laughter with your family and friends. Let yourself be happy. Go for a leisure walk in nature. Take a massage if possible, if you have access, if you love it. Meditation heals your life. The flight and flight response is on one side. Meditation elicits an equal and opposite healing response in your life. Meditation will counter all the stressful responses, all the chemicals that came in. Meditation will elicit all those healing hormones in your body. So you have a daily stress, morning and evening, meditate, and that will be taken care of. Apart from your lifestyle modifications and hydration and good nutrition and everything else, if you meditate every day, meditation reverses those effects. It makes you aware that life is beautiful by default. Happiness is your default nature. The stress originates from your thought patterns, from your emotions, from your reactions to life events. It is the perceivers, subjectivity. And that is what meditation makes you realize. The world's best pharmacy in the world is inside you. The best medical stores in the world is inside you. If you have the wrong button, you create poison and stress response. You have the wrong button. If you have the right button, you create elixir, amrut, healing response, relaxation response. The control of the pharmacy is not with the cortical, the neocortex, with the subconscious. And you can change your subconscious mind by being mindful, by meditating, by contemplating, by spirituality, by understanding the bigger picture of life. You are knowledgeable, sir. You have knowledge. But inside you, all this knowledge is not in the proper place. It's a puzzle. They're just jigsaws, everything. You know it. But you don't know how to place it in your life because the internal structure isn't organized. Spirituality helps you to organize this. Change the way you think. Change the way you think. Right, so a couple of slides and we're going to stop. There are two circles. One is the circle of concern and the other is the circle of influence. Now, the problem with most of the people is they're concerned about the whole world. Oh my goodness, what's happening in USA? There are people dying there. Oh, what's happening in China? Oh my goodness, what's happening in India? The economy is collapsing. Are you going to make any impact on that? Are you the prime minister, the minister, the administrator? No. You're just a doctor. Behave like a doctor. Why have you to be concerned about USA? If you cannot influence that is none of your concern. If you can influence, yes, sir. If you are an economist, yes, you should be concerned about it. You can add to that. Fantastic. But if you cannot influence it, none of your concern. Your concern should be yourself. You can influence yourself. Sleep well, eat well, hydrate yourself, exercise, meditate, bring out all the relaxations, understand yourself, contemplate, go to spirituality. That's your influence. Help your family, your neighbors, your juniors, your subordinates, the people who work for you. You can influence them, yes, help them out. Do charity, go and distribute food packets, donate to the Prime Minister's funds or give donations to the poor who need right now. Or whatever knowledge you have as an expert, do webinars, free of them, free of cost. Fine. Beyond that, do you have influence? No, that is none of your concern. Because the more you expand your level of concern, you are inviting stress. Because no, you're not enjoying. There's no influence. You're just unnecessarily doing it dry. If you cannot influence, pray for them. Send well wishes. Say positive vibes. But don't confuse the concern and influence. To summarize, a couple of slides and I'm going to stop. Lifestyle modification. Consciously choose less stress responses and more healing relaxation responses. Be mindful of your positive thoughts. If you have a grudge for even a single person, if you want to take revenge of even a single person, if you have a jealousy even for a single person in life, if you have a painful memory of the past even for a single person, every day you are secreting poison in your body, in your mind. You are decreasing your life. You are inviting chronic diseases. You are inviting heart diseases, cancer, immunity. I can prove this scientifically, with evidence, with references. Forgive your past. That's for you, not for the other person. Don't follow the crowd blindly. Don't who's been forced by the meme, by the society, by the media. What others do, don't follow it blindly. Ask yourself, understand, find yourself. Sit and contemplate without your mobiles in a quiet room. Talk to yourself. This lockdown period was a blessing, a grace. You are unstoppable. You would never stop because you are so habitual. The society has made you into a rat. You have to run. This was a beautiful time to contemplate, talk to yourself, find your true self. Find that child who's still crying, waiting for you. Go back to that child, embrace that child within yourself. You have your own childhood, your own child there inside you. Find it, go and hug it. Talk to it, what it wants. It doesn't want your car, it doesn't want your fame, names, or no. It doesn't want all this. Understand the bigger meaning, the purpose of life. Evolve yourself, rise beyond the needs, the deficiency needs. Be grateful to what you have. Ask the people who are going to die tomorrow or next day or in a month or a year's time. Ask them what is the importance of each and every day. Ask them what is the importance of the breath. Just being alive is joy. If you understand Zen stories, and if the Zen masters makes his students understand, the Zen student, if he understands this and gets into his subconscious, he'll start dancing. He'll start dancing now. You will get up in your chair and start dancing, celebrating life at this moment. It is not crazy. This is fact. This is what our sons told us. संत लोगों ने यही बोला है. They were the most happiest, most blissful. उनके पास कुछ नहीं था. No money, nothing, no name, no fame, no clothes, nothing, and still they were the happiest people. The least stress they had in their life. How was that possible? Because they were grateful. They understood the bigger picture of life. So happiness is within. It is not with other people, not with objects, not with achievements, not with possessions. Happiness has nothing to do with it. I don't say don't have possessions. I don't say that don't get degrees. I don't say don't stop practice from tomorrow. No, you do that. But that is not going to give you happiness. The true happiness is somewhere else. Elicit more relaxation responses. COVID is, it appears that it's going to stay with us for a long period of time, maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year. But the good thing is it is preventable. You have a total control over it, indirectly or directly. Boost your immunity. Keep a positive mindset. Be flexible. Don't be rigid. I know everything. No. We are experts in our field. It doesn't mean we are experts in astrophysics and geology and evolution and quantum physics. No. Just being expert in your field doesn't make us expert in all the fields of life, sir. We have a pseudo image. Oh no, I'm intelligent. I know everything. No. You are an expert in your field. Great. Fantastic. Doesn't mean that you are an expert. You may know about other fields and it is good. But so just stay flexible and keep learning new and new things. Do what is required and then just live it. Do planning, do everything. But after that, don't get stressed. Don't overdo the planning. Just flow with the flow. This is a liability. This is a problem, I know, but convert it to an asset. The earth is healing because of corona pandemic. Let us also heal from within. Let us also help others to heal. Let us evolve better. Get ready for a new awakening. Get ready for the new earth. A planet, a life where the only religion is humanity, peace and love. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhamre. Tushar, can you unmute? Yeah. Start your video, please. Yeah.
Okay, that was like a very powerful blast of scientific data and a very emotion churning kind of talk. But we are very grateful that you sort of summarized everything. It is a bit heavy for people who are listening, I'm sure. If you just permit me,
Sure.
because it was a fairly long talk, so
Yeah.
what I feel from in keeping with our motivational Monday, we need to sort of give an elementary summary, right? So what you told us is that stress is essential, but it has to be at a level of eustress, and we should not allow it to get into distress. And it's our decision and it's our control. That is what we should focus upon, what is in our control. And we should not live a life which is full, but we should try to live a fulfilling life. We should work not towards cutting the grass, but work at the grassroots level, which our politicians keep saying we want to work at grassroots level. And we have to perceive that we are a perceiver of the stress, and we should not allow it to trigger us in a negative way. You also told us that we have to have alignment between our thoughts, emotion, speech, and action. You also told us that we have to start differentiating between enlightened people and ego-tend people. And we have to move towards the enlightened people and not towards the ego-tend people. And we have to differentiate between being religious and between being spiritual. Above all, you told us whether we want to have a happy life or a happy death. It's better that to have a happy death, you should have a happy life. You can't have it otherwise. And most important thing was gratitude, right? So
Yes.
now with all this, I need to ask you something. Okay.
For
Now
sure.
the most important thing is there is this author I keep on talking about is Martin Seligman, and he has written so much about positive practical psychology. And he says that having a sense of control on your life is very important. So we keep saying that these COVID times are wonderful. We have so much time for educating ourselves. We have so much time to spend with the family and with the kids. But a guy who has got 3 fellowships, one in Japan, one in West Germany, and one in USA, is now suddenly not able to go there. So it's difficult to explain to him how he should remain happy. So what I'm trying to understand is that there is a difference between forcing yourself to think that you have control and you are actually losing control. So can you just sort of elaborate with your knowledge on how such a
Sorry, I think, sorry, I got
I'll just
disconnected here.
repeat
I'm
my
sorry.
question.
I think it was,
We are all
yeah,
feeling that we are losing
yeah,
control on our situation, right? We have to keep feeling, we have to keep redefining. No, I have control. Means I know that corona is reversible, but yet at some certain level, we feel that it's not within our control. So I was giving example of a fellow who had
yeah,
got 3 fellowships in this year, and now
right,
he's not able to go to any fellowship, which with great effort he had booked over the last 3 years with all his effort, and he has no
right,
guarantee that he's going to be able to go next year. So for
absolutely.
him to
Yeah,
convince himself that he is
yeah,
happy is quite a task. So can you elaborate as to
yeah,
what amongst us, those who are feeling such loss of lack of control, how should we sort of redefine?
absolutely. Absolutely. Very important question, and very genuine as well. Pertinent. See, the thing is, we see, depending on our perceptions, depending on our 5 senses, and the third sense is our brain, and the sixth sense is our brain, and then we have the extended senses. So a frog will see the world, the is, and will say, okay, the heaven is round. That is his world. Okay. We human beings are trained to see things as incidences in blocks and fragments. We are not trained to see the life as a bigger picture. We are seeing that incidence from today's perspective, from a fragmented perspective. Now, there was a wonderful example of Steve Jobs. Let me give you that. Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple, and he was thrown out of Apple company himself. The founder, the CEO, the owner is thrown out of his own company. Now, if you listen to his speech in the university, he says, sir, every negative thing or positive thing that happened in my life is a connected dot. There is a purpose of everything that is happening. If things are not happening today, don't worry. Things will happen in the future. Something better is going to happen. Everything is connected. Unless we do not see the bigger picture, we don't know. Today we feel it is like we are losing on something. Morarji Desai, our Prime Minister, went for an interview, for an IS officer's interview. He was the youngest, the most talented, most deserving. And the person who was taking the interview got a phone and got influenced, and he had to offer that place to somebody else. And that person said, sir, you're very talented. I wish I could have given you this, but for some reasons, if you don't get, what are you going to do? And Morarji Desai said, oh, maybe something better is in store for me in my life. This happened with Abdul Kalam. This happened with Morarji Desai. This happened with Steve Jobs. This happened with a lot of people. You see all the successful people. They lose opportunities. Opportunities come and go. Doesn't matter. Things are not happening, something better is in store for you. And not because I'm telling you just to satisfy your mental stress. No. Try understanding life in a bigger way. And let me tell you, you are the co-creator of your life. You are the co-creator of your life. You can recreate this just by your thoughts. By sending those vibrations, people will start coming and manifesting in your life. So I gave you the logical reason, but let me tell you the vibrational, the energy level as well. You can recreate these opportunities again. Don't worry. This is a short term. Everybody is losing. Everybody has problems. Everybody is shaking. You are also shaking. You are also one of the sufferers of the whole world. Don't worry. If it is gone, fine. Give your best. And in spite of that, if it's not happening, it's all right. Something better is in store for you. It'll come back again. And this has happened with great people. Read the books. Read that the whole the universe is connected as energy, and you can recreate this opportunity for yourself just by your thoughts.
Yeah, great. I hope the resident who spoke to me has understood what we are trying to say. But the sufferer obviously feels the hurt more. Also, I may want to add that by hearing a talk, it may not happen overnight. It may happen overnight, your feelings, but it may not happen overnight. And it is a gradual transformation from thinking in one way to move to another way. But it's good to acknowledge that you have felt hurt and you are seeking help rather than not acknowledging it at all. You would agree to that, right?
Yeah. I think, yes, that's very important. Sure.
Another thing is, one part of your talk said that at the core of our life, we are supposed to be happy. Now, it has been my reading that as human beings, this fight and flight response just keeps coming all the way. So our ancestors had a very horrible life, and they were always worried either about killing and eating food or about saving themselves and not becoming somebody else's food. However, the world today has changed, and we continue to hold our brains from the ancestral time. So many books also say that happiness is not your natural self, and it's an effort to remain happy again and again. So would you agree with that? I mean, happiness is our default program, or do we have to make efforts to discover that default program?
Right. Now, this is a very wonderful question. The thing is, let us understand evolution for that. We need to understand evolution. See, our body has evolved over a period of time. And the neocortex has just recently come in a few lakh years back. It's a new happening. But otherwise, we have the reptilian brain or the hindbrain, the midbrain, and the neocortex, right? Now, the problem is the moment the neocortex came, which came in just the last lakhs of years, the flight and fright response is still in the reptilian brain. It's still in the lower brains. This is natural. It just comes in. The neocortex coordinating with them will take still more time. Now, problem is our body is still a 1,000,000-year-old model. And you are asking this 1,000,000-year-old model to run in today's race. So it's like a car model which is 1,000,000-year-old, and you are asking it to run with the modern cars or the modern expectation of Formula One competition. That's not going to happen. So when we are designing our academic, our curriculum, our school syllabi, our administrators, government, all have to take this into consideration, sir. That we have to understand how our human psychology works, how our mind has evolved, and how much pressure should we give to our kids, to our college-going students, to the professionals, people who are working. So this has to be understood and taken into consideration by our administrators. One. Now, the next thing what you asked is, can you reframe that, the next second part of the question? The second part of the question?
So is it our default? Is it our default mechanism, or do we have to discover the default mechanism?
No, see, the problem is these books are fantastic. These are great authors. I respect them. That is their perspective. What I believe is, and what our spirituality believes, and our Vedas believes, and all the scriptures believe, not only our Vedas, I mean most of the scriptures, and I love all the scriptures, right? The thing is, we have trained ourselves, the modern life, the meme, the media, our people, the society, our parents, all these are victims already. And they have trained your brain. So you will have to untrain your brain to understand this. So the conscious effort you are talking about is untraining your brain and then feeling the happiness, sir. It is the other way around. We are training our generations in the wrong way, first of all. If we start training them the way the facts are, we don't have to untrain. We don't have to make any conscious efforts. This is a very superficial view. We will have to go deeper than that. And that will come with spirituality. That will come with a deeper understanding.
So at the core is happiness.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it has got covered by layers and layers of being unhappy as we grow up, and we have to
Beliefs.
uncover all that and rediscover our core.
Correct. The beliefs, the wrong beliefs, what we have. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Ashok, do you want to ask something, Neeraj?
Yeah, I have a question. So we were
Sure.
talking about children being happy within themselves, and over a period of time, something happens and we become something different. So my kid is 6.5, and I see him happy. And like you said, I don't want him to transit into what you describe as an adult. So how can I keep a watch or try and help him over the period of time?
Right. So basically, there are two things. See, being childish and being childlike, they are two different things. And one has to understand this. What we have done is being childlike is what we feel childish. And as adult, we say, oh, don't get childish, don't be a child. No, they're two different things, right? So be childlike. The child is natural, spontaneous. That is what is more important. So to tell a child, let them be, don't impose your ideas. Don't impose your ideas. Let them experiment. You are a guider, you are a mentor. The universe is utilizing you as a source, as a medium to bring its own generation. It is a conspiracy by the evolution. You are just the baby, or the child is not your baby. It is the baby of the universe. It is just coming through you. Genetically as well, if you see mother and father 50-50%. The child may look like you, but genetically he's not like you. There's so many. His grandfather has contributed. His grandfather was a combination of two different parents. His grandfather was a contribution of two different. So by permutation combinations, your child is genetically similar to you, but not you are not even contributing 50%, because the genes what are manifested in you are not manifested in him. So genetically is different. As an individual, he is different. You cannot impose your beliefs and ideas onto him. What the problem the parents trying to do is they want their child to be like them. They want to impose their beliefs and their ideas, and they think that is the best. And every parent feels they are the best. So keep it
Actually,
open.
actually, we want our kids to be even a better version of ourselves. What we
Right, but
could not be.
who told us that we are right? Who defined that we are in the correct direction? There is something more bigger to life. And life has a better role to play. Let's keep it natural. We are just helpers. We are just supplementers. We are just motivators. And for example, let me give a simple example. My kid passed his 10th standard. He had a decent marks. I made him sit. I said, now you're going to go into 11th standard. All right. You have an option of arts, science, commerce, blah, blah, blah. These are the advantages, disadvantages. Go for yourself, find and come and talk to me. He said, I want to choose science. I said, why? This. I said, these are the reasons, good and bad. I did not say, even if you would have chosen arts, I would have been the happiest person. The second thing is, now, whether you're taking science, what do you want to do? These are the options. Ta, 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 ta. I gave him advantages, disadvantages, how many years you're going to be there, if you're successful, what is going to happen, if you're not going to be successful, what is going to happen. I'm a doctor, but he did not choose to be a doctor, and I'm happy about it. I'm a facilitator. Parents are facilitators. That's it. And if you remember this, you have a beautiful child. He'll be a wonderful child. He'll be unique. He is unique. No, you and your brothers are not the same. You and your brothers are different. So how can your child be your replica? No, or not even better. He can be super better. He can be much, much better. The miseries and the stress and these anxieties and the fears you carry, do not impose on him. Let him be free. Just be a facilitator.
Since we are into such heavy philosophical discussion, I want to ask whether you are a believer in destiny, which controls our thoughts and actions, or our thoughts and actions define our destiny.
A very, very, very nice question. Very, very good question, actually. Very important.
Because
See,
I'll just elaborate on my question.
Sure.
Because Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kamli were on the same grounds with the same coach.
Yeah.
They were playing the same shots.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was happening? Was the destiny controlling their behavior, or was their behavior controlling their destiny?
Very important. Very important. You rightly brought up. They both were talented. They both were Sachin Tendulkars. They both were Kamblis in their own rights. Now, see, basically, let me tell you, there's nothing like a destiny. Nothing like a destiny. The good thing is you are not pre-decided by your genes. Similarly, you are not pre-decided by your fate or destiny. Nobody has your fate. Nobody has made a manuscript. Okay, this is the way you're going to go in your life. No. The good thing is we are co-creators. The universe, scientifically, quantum physics tells us it is energy. It is vibrating energy. We are also condensed energy. The body is nothing but condensed energy. There is energy everywhere. The moon is a condensed energy. The tree is a condensed energy. We all are current energies, and we are frequency. We are frequency. So, for example, a small radio you have, and you tuned it into 93.5, it will get 93.5. You tuned it into 98.3, and it will get into that. But if you tune at 98.3, you will not get 93.5. So we are the co-creators. Your thoughts, your intentions are creating world. I've experienced this. Everything in my life I have created just by thought. Of course, efforts, physical translation, planning, everything, do and forget it and plan it and it happens. I've experienced in small things, sir. In UK, busiest hospital, even if I'm late, I think I'm getting a place, I've got a place, and it is there. It is. I'm not talking superstition here. I'm talking experiential. So the thing is, you're not pre-decided. You are the co-creator with the natural laws of universe. The law of universe is there. There is no God. God in the sense, let's not talk about God or not God. The laws of universe are existing, and in accordance with your law, you can create. You are the co-creator of your own life and own destiny. Nothing else decides that. Yes, that is quite powerful.
That is quite a great answer. Yeah, I must say.
That is quite empowering.
Yeah. So basically, Dr. Bhamre does not believe in destiny. And what he says that we are vibrations, we are energies vibrating at different frequencies.
One second. So I must say, I think he has given one of the best answers I've heard. He has said we are co-creators. So what he's saying is that there is something happening and we are facilitating it. So there is certain amount what we do and there is a certain amount which is happening. So it sounds like a very plausible kind of a... Ashok Sham is an example. I'm sure he must have never visualized this COVID and so much of explosion of OrthoTV, but he may have visualized it in some format and some desire must have been there and it has come to reality. Means last year we could not visualize it.
Correct. Everything comes in the thought first. Everything that happens in the life, as I gave you an example, my mobile first came in the thought and then it came into reality. Everything comes in your thoughts first and then comes into reality.
So can I ask, who is our co-creator?
See, the laws of universe, for example, gravity, you cannot transcend gravity, okay? So the gravity is there, right? So there are certain laws which are existing. And in these laws, you have the free will to get whatever you want and whatever you don't want, right? So the free will is with you, but the co-creator is the universe itself, the laws of the universe itself. But they are universally same for everyone. They do not discriminate. It is your discrimination. It is your choice. The way you think, the way you are trained to think. So start understanding who you are, what you really want. Everybody in the world doesn't want a Mercedes, sir. Everybody doesn't want a Mercedes. The person doesn't know, just because everybody wants, you also want.
So basically what Dr. Bhamre is saying is that we all have a software problem and not really a hardware problem.
Correct. That's a problem. The meme is the problem. The memetics is a problem. The genetics is not a problem.
So it's like running a Windows program on a Mac or something like that.
Correct. You have a computer which is from 18th century or 19th century old and quite an old model. You're trying to give in a new software into it and new demands of your life.
So in Bijlani's terminology, the Mac works because the hardware and software is made by the same person.
Same company, yeah.
Okay. It has been very awe-inspiring to listen to you. I'm sure whichever audience have really stuck by us and stuck by us till the end of this discussion would be feeling the same. Dr. Bhamre's details, I'm sure, with a brief summary, we'll put it up tomorrow. They can talk to you personally if they are not, if they are still recollecting their thoughts and rethinking on questions. Because your thought, your whole talk has been so exhaustive that it must have created some further sort of force them to think.
Yeah. I do conduct workshops, which are free workshops as a social contribution to develop and bring universal peace and brotherhood. And I teach meditation, which are free workshops. And it's a day or 2 days workshop. We talk interactive meditation, relaxation techniques, and so many things. I believe that everything I've got is from the society and I have to give it back as a contribution. So this is a little contribution what I try to do to the society.
The three things, no, which have stemmed out of every motivational webinar which we have conducted or every motivational literature that we read is that you have to have gratitude, you have to do good amount of physical exercise, and you have to learn some form of meditation.
Okay. Thank you, Tushar, for summarizing it. I think this we have this much time only for today. And
fine.
So see you all next week on another Monday Motivation with another new speaker. Thank you, Dr. Bhamre.
Thanks a lot
for staying connected with us. And you have been one of the first followers of the Monday Motivation. You have always been giving us encouragement, and we were glad to have you finally on our Monday Motivation webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good night.